So, another time in this video I basically made some tier list basically for Dark Reign. And I was thinking to myself, before I uninstall Dark Reign, maybe I'll jump into it and actually show off some of those units that I actually never really used appropriately. Because, I have the time, I got it downloaded. Now, I'll note by the way that something I note here is that basically loading this up again, it doesn't actually keep any of the that's annoying. This game likes to crash, by the way, just to throw it out there, so fun. But yes, note that one of the things that this game doesn't do is basically keep its data if you basically don't save it. So basically, don't have any of the missions basically back here to basically play. So there's that. And of course, it crashes again going to the expansion because of course it does. At least it boots up fast. Yes, going to the expansion, you'll note that none of the other missions basically are here. But anyhow, I figure I just want to show off the units, and I can still do it with instant action, and we'll do that right now. All right, now before I basically continue here, we're just gonna go select a map here. Let's go with Canyon, and we'll select this map. We're going to take off the fog and the shroud just for multiplayer here. We'll allow the Togan side, and I will play Togan. And they can just be whatever they want to be, but I'll make him Togan as well. Make this guy easy just so he's not too much of a fret while I basically trying to show off stuff. Alright, let's just get into it. I'm basically going to show off all the units that I never really got to show off, before when I actually played the game, so let's do that. We'll slow this down here a little bit.
What do you want?
I can go right there.
Right.
That right there.
Construction underway.
Sure.
Put that right there.
Yeah.
Alright, well. All these guys basically go about building the initial structures here.
Underway.
So this is basically Canyon, a very simple map that basically has
Construction underway.
a winding path of water springs basically in it right here. Oh, there's the Tailwind source right there, so basically the Tailwinds are basically up north. Over here is my friendly Togren neighbor. He's currently not building a water depot just yet, so he'll be able to slowly start off, but that's fine. Yeah, note that I can basically build all the units here, so access to everything. Fun.
Construction complete. New units available.
We're gonna start building these guys basically up here a little bit.
Power critical.
Yeah, it's a lot to be critical, it's fine. I'll note the plan here is going to be I'm just going to try to nab both the watering pools so I can have lots of money to work with here. And I'll basically go about trying to show off the units and stuff like that. So
Construction complete.
Let's move. Yeah.
go here.
Unit completed.
Ready. Where to?
Construction complete.
Yeah.
He's got a freighter up at least, so that's good for him. I'm going to go here.
Right away. Set to go.
There we go, getting some water.
Completed.
Yeah.
And it's just go right there.
Alright.
So basically this guy's a very interesting step because basically he's building it so late, but that's fine. Now, one of the reasons I'm basically building, like,
Sure.
whoops, I don't want to do that.
Yo.
Another one of the reasons basically I want to, like,
All right.
basically do this, like, sort of episodes, basically to sort of show off, like, what the hostage taker is basically all about.
Underway.
Maybe, like, show off phasing a little bit if I can.
Unit completed.
Yo.
Construction underway.
Sure.
Let's get this over here.
Unit generation in progress.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to see what the enemy is basically doing, so you can basically see tabs on, but whatever. Yeah, I can speed this up a little bit, so let's do so.
Unit completed.
Yeah. All right.
We'll go out here.
Unit completed.
Yo.
Construction underway.
All right.
Let's get up there with that, construction, please.
Construction complete.
Yo.
Construction complete. Construction underway.
Uh-huh.
He is building troops now at this point, but it's fine. He's only got one wiring source basically to work with, so... Probably gonna definitely overwhelm me with, like, the initial phase here.
Construction underway.
He's starting to scout out here a little bit because, he's got the troops now. I'm getting lots of money, which is nice. I'm just gonna speed this up a little bit to get this done.
Construction complete. New unit available.
Alright, from this I can basically start popping out units, so...
Unit generation in progress.
We'll get some of these guys basically out here.
What do you want?
I can build the, field hospital now if I want to. I think the first thing I'm probably going to do is build a shredder just to try and, like, mop up his infantry a little bit just to blunt his ability to do stuff. Because why not?
Yo.
Unit completed.
There's my first raider. There's my repair station. And my other repair station.
Construction complete.
Cool, let's
New
get this
unit
going right
All
here.
right.
Upgrade available.
And let's just get ourselves a shredder right to
Unit
start off with.
generation in progress.
Start upgrading this a little bit. Let's get some spares of those basically right now.
Unit completed.
Now he's actually coming toward me here a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to get a shredder out to, really mop up his stuff in a moment.
Unit completed.
Just do that till you're blue in the face. We won't get the hostage taken right away, but you know, we'll get it soon enough.
Unit completed.
Okay, let's just do some shredding here.
Construction complete. New units available. Enemy engaged. Unit completed. New unit available.
I can go get repaired, why not?
Unit generation in progress.
Let's get some of these guys basically out to play with.
Unit completed.
Ready. Let's roll.
Let's get these guys down here as
Unit
needed.
completed.
To upgrading this here a little bit.
Yeah.
Unit
Just gonna start building assembly
completed.
plants over here.
Construction underway.
Get it. Where to?
Enemy engaged. Unit completed. Enemy engaged.
Just killing off all his troops here.
Where to? Right away.
Unit completed.
Yeah, I know the destroyer can actually hurt these guys, but you know, it's fine.
Set to go. Hit it.
That's fun to do.
New unit available.
Alright, I got access to exterminator now if I want, so I can build those.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's roll.
Unit completed.
Yeah. Where to? Right away.
That's in trouble.
Unit completed.
What do you want? Sure.
Get our visa, please.
Yo. Sure.
Get that going over
Construction
here.
underway. Unit generation in progress. Enemy engaged. Unit completed.
Eventually I'll probably start, you know, try building another assembly plant, but whatever, that's fine.
Yeah. Let's roll.
Unit completed.
Let's just get this upgrade now.
Construction underway. Construction complete. Upgrade available.
Us upgrade? Nope. Missing the advanced assembly plant now.
New units available. Upgrade available.
Alright, so
Unit completed.
we're gonna get the hostage you know, taker basically built so I can show it off.
Unit completed.
I'll have to get a phasing facility for that guy.
What do you want? Sure.
Let's get this going right here.
Construction complete.
All right. Yo. Uh-huh.
Construction underway.
Alright, so here's the hostage taker.
I stand by.
So this is basically one of the units I never really got around to showing, but basically the idea of like what it's basically all about is that he goes up
They can't hide.
and he'll basically grab a troop and basically slowly convert him over to be a suicide bomber. So let's do that with his bind over here maybe.
Meet your fate. I stand by. I stand by.
Now I really don't think much of a hostage taker because basically like you nab a unit, but
Enemy engaged. Unit
I
captured.
stand by.
you can't like nab another one, so
They can't
Construction
hide.
complete. Upgrade available.
he's basically good for like killing like one unit basically is the thing, right? So not that useful basically after that point.
Who's next?
Now how he basically works is that he actually like slowly converts like the guy basically over time.
Who's next? I stand
Enemy
by.
engaged.
Meet your
And yeah, I can actually
fate.
grab like let him out before like his time, but
Units captured.
obviously just want to capture me done of it.
I stand
Unit generation in progress.
Let's get a S.C.A.R.A.B up so I can show off his like ability.
New units available.
Okay, I can basically build the upgraded guys now.
by. Yeah.
Oh, we need to get some of the temple gate to build the rift drainer, so let's get that out of the way.
You. All right.
Let's get that going right here.
Unit generation in progress.
I'm waiting. Meet your fate. I'm
Construction
waiting.
underway.
Alright, so note that this guy basically is like almost basically done, so the red bar's basically almost gone here. And now basically he's like ready to deploy it.
Construction
Meet your
complete.
fate.
New units available.
So there's my suicide bomber.
Available. Phasing online.
So best place how to basically get these guys.
I'm waiting. They can't
Unit
hide.
completed.
Let's get some of these guys basically up here.
Unit completed.
And we'll set this guy over here. Alright, well, this guy's basically going to slowly march his way over.
Enemy
It's sort of a waste in this guy, but whatever, it's fine.
Unit destroyed.
Boom. Basically just like a martyr.
Unit completed.
Alright, so here's a S.C.A.R.A.B by the way. So, I'm not really sure this guy basically can be used from like this like thing here, but you can like press like I to like,
Unit completed.
basically activate his like, shield. So there's basically shield basically right there, he takes less damage. Press the I again, he basically unshields himself.
Construction complete. Unit generation in progress.
Let's get a few of these guys basically up here. Once I get this built, I'll basically build the rift drainer so you can actually slowly see that get built and used.
What do you want? All right.
Unit completed.
Good day to die.
There's a regular martyr.
What do you want?
Enemy engaged. Construction complete.
I could make more suicide bombers, but this will kill off the infantry destroyers as normal.
Unit completed.
Just fill them out a little bit before we, like, you know.
Enemy engaged. Unit completed.
Well, that got killed, that's fine.
Who's next? They can't hide. I'm waiting. I smell blood.
We'll just use those guys to sort of, like, you know, mix it up a little bit.
Unit generation in progress. Enemy engaged. Units captured.
There we go, we capture our unit. Get that over there.
Who's next?
Captured.
Meet your fate. I'm waiting. They can't hide.
Construction underway.
I mean, they work well enough, the hostage takers, but I mean, they're just not my type of units. They're, you know, just not really well set for this type of game. The idea, basically.
Unit completed. Primary facility selected.
Let's get our stuff built from here, please. And we'll get you guys placed up here.
Talking to me? Talking to me? Come on!
Unit completed.
Gotta upgrade this again for the stuff.
Command me. I obey. Command me. I
Unit
obey.
completed. Enemy engaged. Unit destroyed.
Command, I obey.
Well, we got that one. Works for me. Alright, now, I brought these guys basically up here so you can show off the, like, you know, temple gate basically in action versus, say, like, the phase runner, which they'll slowly get here. Yeah, I can basically, like, drop this guy over here to kill stuff, so... And by not basically facing him like this basically borrows them, so, you know, that's a thing.
New units available. Enemy engaged. Phase runner available.
Talking to me? Want some of this?
Get in there.
Yeah! Set to go. Get it!
I know my S.C.A.R.A.B is basically taking a long way around because basically, like, you know, he can't find a way to basically get to, like, you know...
Yeah! Right away.
the position from, like, you know, all the stuff based in the way.
Unit destroyed.
So yeah, basically it's just like borrowing from StarCraft for the most part, just to throw it out there, but whatever.
Let's move!
Enemy engaged.
Let's move! Right away.
Unit destroyed.
By the way, these guys are apparently like the best for destroying buildings, so this is like a really good way of basically using them.
Ready? Let's roll!
Unit destroyed.
Right away.
Nope, but when they basically phase, they can't attack anything, so they're just like borrowing units for the most part. That's why I basically, you know, keep mentioning borrowing units, but whatever.
Unit generation in progress.
Let's get these guys basically up here, because why not? Let's get this guy come over here.
Unit completed.
Yeah, this is gonna take a while basically to build up, but you know, once it's actually built, I can use it immediately, so that's fine.
Unit generation in progress.
We'll get some of these guys basically ready.
Primary facility selected. Primary facility selected. Primary facility selected.
By the way, that P basically in the name
Unit
basically indicates if it's like,
completed.
primary or not. So,
Primary facility selected.
oh, these aren't upgraded. That's why they're like, not showing the P.
Primary facility selected.
Or not. Well, you basically have to, basically
Unit
producing something that's got P in it.
Where to?
Hello, ladies.
Unit
The tanks are
complete.
slowly coming along here. I think it's out of money because, like, you didn't really have a chance to build anything, but whatever. Where's the phase runner?
Unit completed. Unit completed.
Ah, I got that bug again. I don't know why it basically is that, like, the phase transport basically is the way it is. Like, sometimes it doesn't move or
Unit completed.
bugs and bugs and bugs and such.
Yeah.
Someone had mentioned it's maybe about, like, how stuff is basically built, but whatever.
Unit completed. Unit completed.
Well, let's just turn off the speed here. Get this basically built.
Unit completed.
He's decided to rebuild that apparently.
Unit completed.
Ready? Yeah.
Who's next? Meet your fate.
Unit
Next.
captured.
Meet your fate.
Construction.
Who's
Enemy
next?
engaged. Unit captured.
Who's next?
Unit
Meet
complete.
your fate, Big Hat. I spend blood.
Unit
I spend blood.
captured. Unit
I spend
completed.
blood. Next. I spend Big Hat. Meet your
Unit
fate.
destroyed. Unit completed.
Meet your fate.
Unit,
I spend blood.
unit completed.
Big Hat high. Command me. I obey. I obey.
Unit destroyed.
Alright, well, that's enough of that. So this is basically built by the way. Now, another thing about the, like, rift runner is that basically when you use it, you have to use, like, the attack buttons up here to sort of use it, so you either, like, use the attack button to basically attack something directly, or attack without moving by, like, aiming, like, for, like, a specific area you basically want to hit. So, I could hit, like, say, right here, but let's just be, like, terrible and hit, like, maybe right here.
Temporal distortion detected.
So, there's my temporal vortex, it'll basically destroy everything around here a little bit. It might kill this as well, not really sure, we'll see. I want to show off the water container at some point, so we'll start building it now. So here's the Rift Runner in action, by the way, doing its thing. So, super powerful. Doesn't really feel like, you do it between buildings like that, it'll still destroy them, but, even on a fully upgraded one, you can basically do a lot of damage and stuff. Whatever. Alright, there we go. We can
Unit
build up
generation in progress.
a water container now.
Next, en route. Understood. Ready and understood. Reported. Certain.
Enemy engaged.
These guys are pretty useless against infantry, but whatever.
Unit destroyed.
Reported.
Unit destroyed.
Ready and willing.
The main purpose of these guys is that they go up and, like, heal vehicles really fast, so...
Unit destroyed.
This, like, rips apart vehicles really fast, as you can see.
I'm waiting.
Primary facility selected.
Supposed to be a way of, like, you know, selecting just, like, you know,
Enemy engaged.
these guys, but whatever. Just gonna wipe these guys out here.
Unit destroyed.
Now, note by the way, this guy basically recharges just like the Sky Fortress sword does, so it takes a while for him to basically like get their stuff, but that's fine. By the way, press like R on these guys, they'll go repair. So we're gonna make these guys go repair if like they're damaged.
Yeah.
Can't do anything with them because they don't have a medic, you know, facility or anything like that, but you know, they'll go get healed up. That's what I want them to do right now.
Who's next? They can't hide. Command me. I obey. I'm waiting.
Yo. Sure.
Let's try rebuilding this over here.
Unit destroyed.
Mars are really just used for like killing infantry, by the way, and vehicles, not really buildings, so don't use them for this sort of thing, but whatever. Annoying, but oh well. Well, let's just speed up time here a little bit to get my like stuff here built. I don't think they can basically do anything right now because I don't think they have money, so...
Construction underway. Unit completed.
Alright, so here's the water contaminator. Nope, he does have money, so... Never mind. Go,
Construction complete.
kill him
Upgrade
off.
available. Enemy engaged.
Alright, so how this guy basically works is I have to, like, you know, use the attack button to actually, like, you know, attack. But anyway, like, you see, like, a little HP pool for, like, the water source. And basically blows it up that way. So, yeah, that's basically how, like, the sort of water, like, you know, contaminator basically works. You, like, use them as, like, you know, basically sort of like, you know, a doodad destroyer is what it basically is.
Right away. Yeah.
Now, something I actually want to test, by the way, I'm actually build a shockwave.
Unit generation in
And the purpose of being a shockwave is to see, like, you know, what it does to this guy if I, like, you know... Oh, here's, like, normal speed for attacking, like, you know... Use this speed. So it attacks pretty fast, this thing, but I mean... It still goes down pretty slow, the water spring, so, because, you know, it doesn't go down immediately. I think the water container would be an awesome use if they basically did a little bit more of a job, like, you know, destroying a water spring real fast, but basically as it is, it's a little too slow, I think. But whatever. There's that done. That's basically done as well, but whatever. You have an idea, let's just put this right here. And the whole idea here would just be to use, like, you know, the shockwave basically to kill off the S.C.A.R.A.B, basically.
Set to go. Stand back.
So put him over here. So a guy that basically read online basically says this guy will actually survive even a shockwave to the face, so... Whoops. Well, I guess we have to see how durable he is basically right here. If he gets attacked.
Enemy engaged.
Wow, that's pretty damn durable. These guys, you know, they usually don't set up the pressure race here, so... You know, however, he's going to survive that basically as he is, so...
Unit generation in progress.
Let's quickly build up an airline, you know, S.C.A.R.A.B here.
Unit completed.
Get him over here.
Where to? Heavy low.
Enemy engaged.
Alright, that's really annoying. You know, I can build mechanics, I guess, so...
Unit generation in progress.
We're just gonna get a mechanic out to basically fix it, you know, the S.C.A.R.A.B's here, instead. You stop attacking his barracks, make him produce more guys. There we go, 2, like, you know, shields basically for these guys.
Unit completed.
What'll it be? No sweat.
I know these guys won't survive a Rift Area to the face, I don't think, because they're just a little bit too, like, you know, weak for that, but whatever. I can actually test that, can't I? Now I'm gonna test it, I guess, so...
Unit generation in progress.
Let's get S.C.A.R.A.B basically out to play with.
Yeah, be right there. No sweat.
Unit completed.
Oh, you know, I just realized something. These guys don't get fixed at very soon shield form, so... There we go, now I get fixed a lot further. Well, unless you do something like that.
Yeah, no sweat.
So, that's like a little interesting thing about these guys if you try and fix them.
Yup. Yeah, no sweat.
Alright, now what I want to basically test here is we're going to use the Rift Area basically here to attack my
Enemy
unit
engaged.
in a moment. Alright, I got one fully healed guy there, it's fine. But yes, let's use the attack command on this guy when he's basically got a shield on.
What'll it be? Ah,
Right then, as I said, let's use the Rifter on this guy.
Temporal distortion detected.
I probably should have attacked him directly, but it's fine. It'll still hit him. So this will just show how powerful the Rift Area basically is versus, like, you know, this guy who has a lot of, like, HP and armor and stuff like that, so... We're basically just gonna pull him into nothingness, this, like, you know, S.C.A.R.A.B here. Wow. Oh yeah, I was gonna test it if, like, this basically hits areas and stuff like that, so...
Unit generation in progress.
Interesting, these guys don't take any damage from a Rift Area whenever he's in shield form. But I do want to basically come out of it, so... Neat stuff.
Yup.
Standing ready.
Unit completed.
I don't feel like changing his behavior, right? So... There we go.
Yeah,
Give me an air dock, you know,
sure.
right there.
Unit completed. Phase runner available.
I would like to, like, HPX has, like, you know, money here.
Construction
Or not.
complete. New units available.
But whatever.
Unit generation in progress. Unit completed. Unit completed. Unit completed.
Yes.
There's my cyclones.
Unit completed.
Receiving outbound.
Unit completed.
Good day to die.
Unit completed. Unit
What?
completed. Unit completed.
There's still that bug basically for like the face runner, so whatever. Alright, well, Sky Fortresses. Let's swing over here. That's almost done charging again. So let's let it charge and then we're gonna zap my like air units basically there. This is like the major weakness of like the Rifter area, it basically has to charge up again. So even though you might be able to use it like multiple times, you have to basically wait for it to charge. Where you know, Shockwaves can be built over and over again to like do stuff.
Temporal distortion detected.
Will this basically damage my areas is the thing, right? So it won't damage the shield of S.C.A.R.A.B. But it will damage air units, so that's what, you know, Rifter is gonna be like, you know, capable of doing. You can't damage air units with like, you know, like, you know, shockwaves, so interesting basically. Okay, we're just gonna quickly build these basically up here.
Unit completed.
Yes.
And let's put these guys like right here. This is demonstrated.
Unit completed.
Idiot. I didn't want him doing that, but oh well.
At your will. Deploying.
Alright, let's just set these guys down to like, you know, have no independence at all.
Yes. Acknowledged. Stepping by.
That's the wrong thing.
We can convert to you. We go to you.
Well, why not? We'll leave a Taiken tank basically here to take a shockwave face, you know, to the face. We'll show it off.
Prepared. Course laid in.
We come out this. Proceeding.
Set to go.
Alright, you're gonna attack this way. And we'll finish off this like little skirmish here.
Richter 7.5.
See, I note that does like barely any damage to the shield. And even though very little, it's like, you know, the Taiken tank there, but whatever. Alright, well, that's basically a demonstration of like, you know, some of the stuff I basically sort of missed there. Now, I will note, by the way, if you obviously want to play like Z-Knights and stuff like that, you have to go into like, you know, multiplayer. And have to like do like, you know, a sort of like, you know, online skirmish by yourself, so to speak. So we'll get this. I have to change the map here to like be like, you know, something. So we'll do Kane again. You can basically select like Z-Knight and Xiaohan here as well. So let's be Xiaohan. That's what I want to basically demonstrate. Z-Knight can be right there. No teams. Put the Xiao basically off yet again. And let's just drop right back in. You have to select the teams here, so A and B. I don't know why speeds always starts so fast, but whatever. Let's get out of the way.
Uh-huh. Yo. Uh-huh. What do you want? All right.
Construction underway.
All right.
So basically there's the Xenite space over here.
Yeah.
Construction underway.
Let's quickly just get this all built up. Obviously, basically, there's some different controls for like multiplayer, but you know, whatever.
New units available. Construction complete. Construction complete.
Ready.
I'll get that at some point, but let's go here for now and we'll build
Responding.
that right there. At this point, basically, I only have like a few units to sort of demonstrate here, so basically it's demonstrate the Marsh transformer, the road transformer,
Unit completed.
the Gemini tank's ability to like, you know, sort of shift itself a little bit there.
On call.
So,
On my
it's
way.
down here.
Construction underway.
Yes, sir. At once.
Construction underway.
Responding. Yes, sir. At once.
Construction complete. Upgrade
Responding.
available.
An upgrade out already, apparently.
Construction underway.
Oh yeah, you're basically gonna upgrade stuff because you basically have this right away, so that's the thing.
Construction complete. Construction complete. New units available.
Just to show these guys
Upgrade
off a little
available.
bit.
Construction complete.
So basically built up his biotech compound over here. There's his Gantz. You know, the Shadow Blade as
Low
opposed to the
power.
Shredder.
On call.
Insufficient credits.
On my way.
Switch over here.
Low power.
Alright, well, let's just show us off. So basically, this guy we can transform into like a high-speed form.
Unit
We
completed.
move. We obey.
This guy can be used to sort of detonate to basically make like, you know, harsh terrain. It can basically, you know, well, this is like the road terrain, so basically like better terrain to work on.
Yeah.
So, boom.
Unit destroyed.
There's some road base to work with over here now. That's basically just the Gemini tank power. You can basically use it to sort of like, you know, quickly move over the battlefield if you want to.
Unit complete. Enemy engaged. Enemy engaged.
Really not a whole lot to basically say at this point.
Unit destroyed.
So basically there's some Marsh being generated that's like, you know, gonna slow down units that basically cross over it that are like, you know, grounded.
Unit completed.
I'm gonna Shadow Blade over here. Gemini tank's basically doing his thing over here. Now don't bother the Gants basically are like, you know, infantry, so it's just gonna slowly make its way over here. And then we'll go kill off the Gant.
Unit complete.
Honestly, it's a little bit slow, but you know, whatever. These guys do actually heal up, as you can see, but you know, not giving them a chance to do that, so let's die.
Commander.
Or it's fine, I don't really care to destroy stuff here, so.
Unit complete. Base under attack. Unit destroyed.
We go. Battle, moving. Battle.
Go for S.C.A.R.A.B back with a couple of these Gemini tanks, I guess.
We serve. We move.
Alright, now, something I want to basically show off here is I'm just going to turn this guy into fast mode.
We serve.
And just to show off how fast these guys basically are, let's go over here.
Moving.
Enemy
So-
engaged.
Basically far faster, like, you know, when it's like, you know, speed mode as opposed to like, you know,
Completed.
the other mode. Yeah, note this guy basically is slowed down by like the marshal a lot, so
Base under attack.
Slow
Enemy
down.
Engaged.
alright, well. I basically wanted to show off all the, like, you know, Dark Rain units I never really got to show off before, so there we go. Hope you guys basically enjoyed that. I'm basically done with Dark Rain for now. Take care.